Okay, so what we're gonna be doing today is a pump down. We've already removed our cover here to have access to the panel here. But the reason you do a pump down is so you can service from here any of these two lines to this side, even including the evaporator when you gotta clean it, or if you're gonna change out a filter. We need to do a pump down, which means that we're gonna put all the refrigerant. We're gonna trap it inside the condenser or inside inside the condenser. And the way we're gonna do that is by first of all bypassing the low and high pressure switches, because if we don't do that, it's not gonna allow us. It's gonna kill the compressor. So we have to bypass this in order for it to reach a zero pressure. So okay, so what we're gonna do now, while the system is off, because both of the pressures are equalized. We haven't hooked up anything right now. It's not hooked up, but we're gonna go ahead and do the bypass real quick. Now we have identified the wires for the low and high pressure switches are connected in series, so they go on through here and they come through here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is that we're gonna bypass this. Okay, so we're gonna bypass this, and we're gonna connect it to, it's supposed to be the jumper here. Kind of blanked out. Right there. I knew I was missing something, but when you put the jumper, and here I'm a little bit nervous, as you can see, but it's all good. So we put it here, we'll contact it to bypass it. So now we're getting the 24 volts from the T-stat directly to the contactor. So since everything's turned off right now, we're gonna go ahead and remove the service caps. Service valve caps. And you usually you can use a small wrench, but these are hand tight. So now that we have them, I got here my refrigerant wrench here, which goes here. So what we're gonna do now is connect the gauges to the system to make sure when you hook this up, these are not open, make sure they're tied correctly. I've known a couple of guys to do that. This is gonna be the liquid line, and then we're gonna do the suction line or the vapor line right here. Come in, open them up, and as you can see, they're fairly equalized right there. You see, you got the low side, you got the high side, but they're equalized because the system's off right now. So that being said, we're gonna go ahead and one of the things that we need to do, I'm just gonna go ahead and tighten this a little bit once it turns on, to have it halfway, because once you do this section, once you do the pump down, you literally have only a few seconds to play with the so you won't damage the compressor. Okay, So turn it on. Okay, so now the unit's running. It's done maybe a couple of cycles already. So the pressures they stabilize already. You know, they got your low one, you got your highs going. We're not connected the temperature flange on there yet. But what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and do just a quick purge to release some of the air from the bearing here. So we're gonna do a little bit of this, just like that, and then a little bit of this one. Right there, and then right there. That should do it right there. All right. So we already took the air out. So what we're gonna do is now we're gonna shut down the vapor line. So what this is coming out this way, okay? Because this is pumping it out at a high pressure from the compressor. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna close this down. That way it's gonna stop right there. So it's gonna stay. It's gonna start. What do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Capturing, storing all the refrigerant within the condenser here. Okay. So, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close this one a little bit halfway. I think it's already a little bit halfway before I close this one, because once the game goes, it's gonna take only a few seconds. So if you can see, once I shut it down, this pressure is gonna start going down. Once it reaches, we're gonna have to close the suction line as quick as possible to avoid having the compressor run without any refrigerant. So here it goes. So as you can see, I think it's already gonna start going down a little bit. Now I'm gonna ask, I guess, my cameraman to turn it off when it gets to starts making a noise to avoid. Okay, let's see, it's going down now. Okay, so there it is. So I'll pump it down because it's going down. It's going down. So we're right there. So we're closing. We're zeros, and then you can shut it down. I think we even got some negative pressure, so that's good. I mean, that's the word of the street.
Rolling.
Okay, so after you have serviced the unit, that being maybe cleaning up the, because sometimes to do this, you can, if you're gonna take out the evaporator to clean it out, you're gonna have to unsolder it, basically open up the lines, okay? And once you do put everything back, you've done all the work that you need to do, because these lines are open all the way to the evaporator. Now we're gonna go back and release back in the refrigerant on the lines. Okay, so we can get it back working to test it out to see if it should work. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna open up the last one we open up, which is gonna be the suction line, which goes in there. As you can see, this is the right there. So we got most of it. That should be right there. Then we open up the discharge line, or the liquid line. So we open it up. As you can see, it's gonna start showing up in the gauges here. So they're gonna equalize it a little bit because there's the system is off. There. It's kind of a little bit like that. And I think it's about it right there. I think they're about equalized right now. Just remember, you get the metering device, so we're gonna have to turn it on back on. I have to turn it back on. Almost forgot that. Okay, so the unit's back on right now. The pressures are stabilizing. The lows are going low, the highs are going high. What I'm gonna do right now is we're gonna meter it back in to the system. So we're gonna shut this hose here, and well, I mean, we can do the clamps first. I was gonna do them at the end, but we can do the clamps. We're gonna do the high side. I think it's this one. Yes, high side. So we can measure the temperature. So we can check our subcool and our superheat temperature to see how bad and how much, if we're low in refrigerant, or if we're right there. All right, so as you can see, it looks like we're low in refrigerant here because of the subcool. Okay, and look at our superheat is way off a little bit. So of course, I forgot to mention that yes, this the refrigerant is it's 410A, R410A. So let's have, Mr. Quintero, be cool. So we got the temperatures. We already got the temperatures. You can see the superheat at 45 and the subcooling at 4.5. So clearly we're under. I wonder why, doing all these tests of this labs, of these units, we're taking out a little ounces here and there. So what I'm going to do right now is meter it back in. Okay, so we're going to close out this one. I'm going to come in here, take this out. It's quick. Put it back in here. Temperature is tight on there. You don't want any accidental discharge here. So now we're gonna open this one. You should be able to see how the what's in here is gonna go to the suction line and go back in. So we're gonna open it up, and then we're gonna open up this little by little. There it is. You can see the I don't know if you can see this shot here. You see the little, but you can see the liquid going in there. So let me see. I think we're equal now. So once it's equal out, then we can close it out, and we can actually take out the other one. Close it out. Close it out. On the other side. One side. That's it. Now, one thing I should have done first is probably connected this back when it was off. Connected back the, taking off the jumper. I'm gonna cut it off real quick, turn it off, take it out, and I'll do it next. So, like I said, I should have done this, remove the jumper when it was out. Everything was off before I started, checking everything else. But I turned it off, so I'm gonna remove the jumper real quick so we can connect back our, low pressure switches back on the. I put my my trusty gloves. So I have a little more grip here. Went all out. So we got this here. Right there. So we remove it here. So we get the line coming in here. Put it here. So what I do, I put it on there, twist it around, put it together, get this here, and get it at, and there it returns, so it should be on there. We get the last one in here, and then we complete the circuit here, right there, and that's it. We just put the panel cover, and we're good to go. Look at that.